Alright folks, in this video I'm going to be comparing Wolfenstein 2 for the Nintendo Switch versus the PC version on the GPD Win 2. Now the GPD Win 2 can't have a resolution which is as low as the Nintendo Switch, but the lowest it can go is about 960 by something, but you can scale the rendering and all that stuff to make the performance better, but you don't need to because the game still looks much sharper on the GPD Win 2. It actually plays a lot better. So let's just take a level from the SAS missions. Right, this may not be as clear, but I think you'll get a good idea. I'm gonna try to play it well, but so I have turned up the sharpness on this, so the game is a lot sharper than what you're going to see on the Nintendo Switch. I can turn on aliasing, but I've turned it off because it's not worth it. I like my game to look sharper. Oh shit. Screwed up. Where are you, buddy? So the game runs really well. There are a few hitches. That's because I'm running this from my micro SD card. But if it was on the hard drive, it would run a lot better. So I chose this level because it's pretty intense with a lot of enemies everywhere. And I do have motion blur on simply because it's on in the Nintendo Switch version. Personally, I prefer playing without the motion blur, but it's on over here, and as you can see, the game is really sharp and it runs pretty well. It averages around 30 FPS, so you can have a good experience. Now I'm going to run the same level, or I'm going to try to run the same level on the Nintendo Switch. So to give you an idea of the textures, you can see the textures are really sharp. You can see the armor, it's very sharp. And I am going to show you some of the settings. This is running at 7 watt. So let me show you the settings. Alright, so on the settings, as you can see, this is running at a higher resolution. It's 960 by 544. I could not get it lower, but if you get it lower to this resolution, which is about 724 something, it's going to like run really fast. But I could not do that. So let's go to advanced settings, and you can see FOV settings. This is all low. Decals medium, motion medium. Image streaming is high because the textures I think stream better, even though I'm running from a micro SD card. These are all at the lowest. Okay, so these are the two important settings. I keep this on, deferred rendering and GPU culling. GPU culling is actually an NVIDIA feature which was introduced in Shadow Warrior 2, but I believe it may be working on Intel HD as well. Basically what it does, it only renders what you're looking at. The rest of the stuff is not rendered, so your performance kind of boosts up. I think it's working on this because the game works a lot better with this on. So I think, oh, I don't know why this turned on. Okay, so chromatic variation on or off, I don't remember. I think it was off. And sharpness at 2, manual scaling at 59. You could go lower. So the Nintendo Switch version is actually so low that it's pretty much a blur. Like it's a blur fest because I think it's much lower than this. So okay, I'm gonna go to the Switch version now. Alright, so this is the Nintendo Switch version of Wolfenstein 2, and it costs 60 bucks. It does not come with the DLC. I thought it would look a lot better on the Switch, mainly because the GPU is more optimized for Vulkan. It's an NVIDIA GPU in there, but surprisingly, it doesn't look bad. It's just the choices they've made. Once again, I don't want to say that the developer was lazy or anything. It is just that it is so blurry. Like you can see, most of the stuff is so blurry. It does run a little bit smoother, and it has it doesn't have any aliasing. But the problem is that it just looks really blurry. The resolution is just too low. Um, and that wouldn't be a problem. Like, I don't think the biggest problem is the resolution. It's just that there's no way to turn off anti-aliasing, and there is no way to turn off motion blur, so it makes the game look very, very blurry. If this game had a sharpness feature and it had a feature to turn off anti-aliasing, it would look a lot better. Now, it does run a bit smoother. That is mainly because the resolution is even more lower than the GPD Win 2, like much lower. Um, if you could get it at that resolution on the Win 2, then it would run even better in that. But it's a good experience. It's not a bad experience. Like, if you just want to play the game, it runs pretty well. But it just doesn't look as good. And yeah. Wait. What am I doing? Die. Oh, there you go. Okay, so to show you the difference, let me just go somewhere where there's more light. All right, so look at the armor. It's a bit blurry, and it's using adaptive resolution. So adaptive resolution is something that's on the PC as well. It basically lowers and ups the res on the fly while you're gaming. So when you are still, your armor looks pretty good, but when you start moving and you're fighting enemies, the resolution goes really, really low and it becomes blurry. But it is smooth. It is a bit smoother than what you have on the Win 2. And that is mainly because of the lower resolution. Not much to do with coding or graphical power per se. It's more that it's better optimized because it's fixed at a resolution which is really low. Yeah, so would I prefer to play this on the Win 2 or the Switch? That's difficult to say. Like, if I was playing this game for the first time, I would play this on the Win 2. And if I was just, casually, like, going through SAS missions, I'd play it on the Switch, because the Switch is lighter. And, yeah. Is it worth $60 on the Switch? No, I don't think so. I think Panic Room or Panic Studios, whatever they're called, they could have done a better job. They could have turned off this motion blur crap. They could have turned off the stupid FXAA or TX, whatever it is, anti-aliasing, because it honestly, it just affects the performance and it makes the game look blurry. If you turned it off, I think this game would look a lot better. But unfortunately, there are no options. In fact, they don't even have a motion. Let's go here. So you can see they don't have any options for that. But yeah, this is just a short comparison to tell you about it. So if you like the video, go ahead and like it. If you dislike it, go ahead and dislike it. But as always, thank you for watching.